go in that you can get a bunch of Legos in.
Last week on Home Free Alaska, we took you along as we moved our entire family to our dream cabin here in Alaska. We spent the next week with lots of projects. One of them was taking an old dog kennel and repurposing it into our new chicken coop. Here in Alaska, fall doesn't last very long. If you blink, you're gonna miss it. So we know that the dark, cold winter is just around the corner. And this home purchase was something that came up last minute for our family. It wasn't planned. And so we definitely wouldn't choose to move right before winter, literally a month before the snow starts to fly. So we have a lot to get done, not just moving our family into the home and getting unpacked and settled, but getting the structures and the pasture fencing done so we can bring our livestock and our chickens to our new homestead. We worked tirelessly into the night, sometimes until it was dark, working with headlamps. Joe was outside for 2 days straight trying to get the chicken coop insulated and get this little window in so they'd have some natural lighting inside of their new chicken coop. But with each passing day, sometimes passing hours, we finally got this little chicken run done for the chickens just in the nick of time. We spent the rest of the week going back and forth between the old cabin and the new cabin, bringing over loads of all of our supplies, our lumber and our equipment, and all the things that are still left at the old cabin. It was a glorious day when we got to gather up all the chickens and bring them to the new homestead. You know, with moving, it can be so overwhelming thinking of the to-do list, but I think it's so important to compartmentalize the things that you need to get done and celebrate those quick wins when you finally get something done and get to mark it off of your to-do list. We're one step closer to having everything over at the new property, and I'm so grateful that the chickens are here, and now we just gotta work on the goats and the sheep. Super sunny day, super sunny fall day. Today's October 2nd, and I'm grateful for all this beautiful sunny weather that we finally have. You guys know we had a ton of rain in August and September, and with all the things that we've got going on, we sure do appreciate the drier weather. Joe's going to be out the next couple of days because he's meeting with our solar company. They're assisting us with switching out some batteries. And like I mentioned in our last video, we're going to be bringing our brand new inverter that we bought for the other cabin over to this cabin, and then taking the inverter that's at this cabin and installing it at the other cabin. Super excited that we got the chicken run done. We got the chickens over here and settled in, and I'm really loving that little space for them. The good thing about a smaller space, especially here in Alaska with the cold winters, is it's easier for them to heat with their body heat. So we went in there last night and it was actually really warm in there because Joe insulated it, and I think the birds are going to have an easier time keeping that space warm in the wintertime than a big chicken coop like we had at the other cabin. So the next thing on the to-do list ASAP, like really ASAP is to finish the pasture fencing for the livestock. James came over last week and helped Joe start the fencing, and he worked with Joe the entire day, and I was so grateful for him offering to help him because Joe has been doing a lot this last week with the move, and so James jumping in there and offering to help him was just a godsend. They got half the pasture fencing done, but we still have the other half to do, and then we have to pin off a separate section for our buck and ram. They have to be kept separate right now because we're not ready for them to breed. We don't want babies to be born in the middle of winter, so we got to keep them separate, and then we've got to get a shelter up for them and just a lot to do before we can bring them over to the new property. And so we have been going back and forth every day between the two cabins to make sure that the sheep and goats have been properly fed and watered and taken care of. So I'm anxious to get the pasture done so we can get them over here with the family. That'll be one less worry off of our shoulders. We don't like them being there unattended. We've never had issues with predators, but you guys know goats, more than sheep in my opinion, goats can get into some trouble, and we've had some issues with Frankie already getting his horns caught in the feeder. We had Titus get stuck in the water bin. I don't know how that happened. They knocked it over and he got stuck in the water bin and was stuck in there all day until Bella screamed at me enough. She was like, "My baby's stuck in the water bin." And I went up there, but we estimated it was a church day, so he was probably stuck in the water bin for at least 4 to 5 hours. It was empty, right? He knocked it over, dumped all the water out, and got stuck in the water bin. So the goats are funny. They get themselves into trouble. So I say that to say I do not like them being unattended at the other properties. So we're in a mad dash to get that pasture fence done.
This. I made it yesterday.
What is it? You want to tell them what it is?
It's a knife. It's a wooden knife. I made it all by myself. I carved this with my real knife, my pocket knife, and I sawed this off and I smoothened.
How are you going to connect the handle to the blade?
I'm going to have Dad take his little drill bit
that
drills a hole into the wood, and make him go right in the middle so I can go saw a piece off of the wood that he's not using and make it a little bit round so I can stick it in there and possibly just make it like that.
And connect it. Maybe even wrap it with some paracord.
Yeah.
Just to give it more added strength.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Parker went and picked me some grass off the property. What is this one called? Blue joint.
Canadian blue joint.
Canadian blue joint, he says. I just thought that was so cute. He's like, "Look, Mom, I cut you some grass." We had so much fun exploring the property. I did a short over on the channel. Most of you probably saw that, but Parker and I went out on our homeschool day and picked a bunch of leaves from the different trees and bushes that we have on the property and used the app called Picture This to identify the different trees and bushes that we have on the property. And we had Parker? Strawberries, huckleberries, raspberries, high bush blueberries, just a ton of berries on this property, so that was really exciting. But through that, he learned that this was blue joint. You guys know I'm not really crafty. It's just not in my DNA to be like, "Oh, let's get out the glitter and the markers." Like, it's a rare occasion, but Parker's always excited when I do. And I was like, you know what? Let's just go outside. And we had so much fun. So that could be something really fun for you to do with your kiddos. It's fall. And so all the leaves are turning, and it's really fun just to go pick the different leaves. And you can download the app. It's free. It's called Picture This. And you just take a picture of it, and it tells you the species of plant that you're dealing with. And we just used the P-Touch label maker and a piece of cardboard, because we've got lots of cardboard with all these moving boxes right now, and had fun. I mean, we probably spent an hour and a half identifying the plants on our property and just making this super cute collage. You have a quiz? Well, that'll make your day easier.
Yeah, well, math is not going to be fun. It's got like 6 pages.
Well, why don't you go ahead and knock out your quiz while I'm cooking you breakfast?
Dear Lord, thank you for giving us. I supposed to feed our bodies and press and pray. Amen.
The government keeps track of each asteroid that might impact Earth. Asteroid.
ASTROID.
E. Asteroid. You're missing a vowel in there somewhere. Astronomer. The astronomer marveled at the sight of Saturn's 62 moons. Astronomer.
ASTRONOMER.
Yep, very good.
Night, and they were taking care of their sheep. An angel of the Lord appeared to them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them. They were terrified, but the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid. I bring you good news. It will bring great joy for all the people. He is the Messiah, the Lord. Here's how you will know I am telling you the truth. You will find a baby wrapped in strips of cloth and lying in a manger."
Christ is born. Let the world rejoice. After the baby was born, an angel appeared again, this time to some humble shepherds who were watching their sheep at night. The glory of the Lord shone around these shepherds as the heavenly announcement was made. See over here? Still have a hot mess going on. We're very much still packing up in here. It's been a work in progress. Yeah, I mean, we got a lot done, but in the midst of trying to get the chicken coop done, the pasture fencing, homeschooling Parker, getting back on our routine with school, and just like the everyday life, it's like I just do 4 to 6 boxes or so a day, and I figure eventually we'll get there, right? Baby steps. In these examples, 8 was substituted for n. So 12n means 12 times 8, which is 96. N over 2 means 8 over 2, because n equals 8, which is 4, because 8 divided by 2 is 4.
Oh, I remember doing these.
Makes sense?
Last lesson we did these.
Yeah. Same thing here. 88 over n, or 88 over 8, really, right? Looks like that. And then you would divide those, which is 11, because 8 times 11 is 88.
We're going to add the 3y with the 1, so that'd be 4. Wait, so 7 minus 4, right?
Yep.
3
Yep. And then is it going to be plus or subtraction?
plus.
All right, I am coming to you live from the sunroom. Yes, we just got done with school. Can I just tell you, 7th grade math is not okay. And this is coming from the girl that did not do good at math in school. I was really good at English. I was really good at history, but math was not my strong suit. And I thank the Lord for the teacher keys and the curriculum and how they break it down and all the things, because I don't remember any of that. We're doing decimals, we're doing percentages, we're doing variables like 3n over 12 equals, I mean, it's just ridiculous, okay? Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. So you guys get a little snippet of us doing school. Obviously, I'm not going to show the whole homeschool day. That would be a super long video. But we typically school for about 3 hours a day. So it's been about 3 hours that we've been doing school, and we're finally done. And I mean to tell you guys, I have got to get some shades for that big kitchen window because the cabin is south facing, so the sun just beams through that window. Parker and I were like trying to dodge the sun rays while we were doing school. So I've got to look at getting some shades for that. We put custom shades on the other cabin. Every window in the cabin has custom roll-up shades, which was phenomenal. So I just really need to get something for that front kitchen window because we like doing school at the kitchen table. But I'm just chilling out in the sunroom, and just FYI, I decided, I guess, because of your guys' opinion, so many of you like the wallpaper in here, so we're gonna keep it. I like it. I agree with you. All of you said it was very calming. Blue is a very peaceful color. It's very feminine and girly, and I just totally agree. So we're gonna keep this adorable wallpaper in here. I have yet to do anything with this space. Look at it. Yeah, I haven't done anything yet. I mean, I've got my desk up here, but I haven't decorated or set anything up. It's been like just one thing at a time. Winter's coming. We have about a month until the snow starts ish. So we're just, you know, cracking down, trying to get all the outside stuff done and get that pasture done so we can bring the goats and the sheep over. And then, you know, that's kind of like Joe's biggest concern was getting that pasture done and then getting all the solar stuff how we want it for each cabin. So anyway, without further ado, I'm gonna head downstairs and make a cup of coffee. Oh, would you look at that sunshine? I mean, I'm grateful, don't get me wrong. I am grateful for the sunshine, but it is not fun doing school behind the sunbeams, you know? You may hear the dogs panting in the background. Joe just threw fetch for a little bit to get some energy. We kept them in the house so they weren't out there bugging the solar people, but they had to go out and go potty, so they got to play fetch for a little bit. But you guys might remember my ferments that I did a couple weeks ago when we harvested the garden veggies. Remember? We did some sauerkraut, and then I also fermented some carrots. Well, it's been about 2 weeks, and you only have to let them ferment for 5 to 7 days technically, but I like to let them ferment a little bit longer because I like mine to be a little bit more tangy. I like them to be tangy. So these have been fermenting for a full 14 days, and they are ready to go into the refrigerator, which slows the fermentation process down, and they are preserved really well in this way. They will last literally for months in the fridge. Some of you had asked on that video what the coffee filters are for, and really these are just to keep out bugs and gnats and things as they ferment on the counter in the kitchen. You guys know sometimes you get gnats and stuff flying around. All right, so the carrots, I don't use fermenting weights for these because they were under the brine just fine, but these are ready to go in the fridge, and you'll notice the brine is sometimes a little cloudy, and that's normal. And I do have a clove of garlic in each of these jars with salt, and they're so yummy. I prefer to have them cold, kind of eat them like pickles. You can eat them on the side of like your lunch, or if you just want a snack, you can just grab one out of the jar and just eat it as is. Oh my gosh, my mouth's already watering.
What is that?
It's a fermented carrot.
Let me smell it first.
It's like a pickle. Don't smell it because you're like, yeah. Take a bite. It's like a pickle. I promise. Big bite. Go. Chew it up.
That is so...
You could pretend it's good for the video.
That's so good, guys.
You know how kids are. They're like, ew, heebie-jeebies. No, they're so good. Don't listen to Parker. One of those is for Lexi. This small jar of sauerkraut is for Lexi. My girl loves fermented stuff. So we're just gonna remove the fermenting weights out of the jars. And then you guys might remember, we also put in 1 cabbage leaf on the top of the sauerkraut. And that was to keep, it's kind of like a blanket. It goes over all the chopped up cabbage and it holds it down under the brine. And then you set that fermenting weight on there and it keeps it all submerged. That's the biggest thing with fermenting. You want to make sure everything's below the brine so that it doesn't get oxygen exposure and it doesn't get moldy, right? I think I just had 1 in each. I don't even remember. Oh, no, I got more. Sauerkraut is so good. I make a yummy sausage sauerkraut soup. You can also eat sauerkraut on top of scrambled eggs. It's one of my favorite ways to eat scrambled eggs. You know, scrambled eggs by themselves can be a little boring. Just throw a little scoop of sauerkraut and it just makes it exciting. You guys remember I make my sauerkraut with a little bit of onions, some carrots, and just a little pinch of fresh oregano. It is so, so yummy. So I'm gonna give Joe his coffee, and then I think I'm actually gonna work on some YouTube stuff. You guys know with us moving, I had to change a lot of things. I had to come up with a new intro with footage that would, you know, make sense for us living in this different cabin now. And then my cover art on our YouTube channel, you guys might remember that banner that goes across the channel there. That's got to change too, since that's no longer the cabin that we live at. So I'm going to work on that a little bit this afternoon, get that all updated with our new cabin. And then this evening here in just a little bit, I've got to take Parker to youth group. He has youth group on Wednesday nights. Hello.
Hey.
Some coffee. How's it going out there?
They're almost done.
They are?
Yeah.
So then they go back to the other cabin to put that inverter in over there, or are they doing that tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Okay, sweet. Are we going to have power tonight, or we have to use a generator?
Yeah, they're turning it on right here in a second.
Oh, sweet.
Did
Okay.
they turn it on yet? Not yet.
No, not yet. Everything's been out all afternoon.
Yeah.
So, okay, I just thought you might like a nice hot cup of coffee.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, this is what it would look like. This is what it will look like.
Okay, so you wrap paracord around it, and you went and got chicken feathers?
Yeah.
Did you pluck those out of the chickens, or you just found them on the ground?
I found them on the ground. I know not to do that.
Are you being honest?
It would hurt them if I plucked them.
Let me see. Those are pretty feathers. Hey.
Kind of, I like how it looks.
Let me see what the knife would look like once Dad helps you put it together. Parker, that's so creative. Nice, P. All right, I'm gonna head down to the generator shed with Joe. He's gonna show me the work that they did today. Hi. How are you? I feel like I haven't seen you all day.
Fine. You haven't seen me all day.
I haven't. You feel better? You feel better now that we've got the new inverter in over here? Yeah. Yeah.
So much better.
I mean, it's just that it's brand new. There's nothing wrong with the inverter that was here already. You know, Joe's the one that kind of deals with all the solar stuff, and he's already learned that inverter because we've lived with it for 2 years at the other cabin, so he is more familiar with it, and that was one reason that we wanted to bring it over to this cabin.
Oh, that went way better, huh?
Oh, yeah. Way better. That looks more like what I'm used to seeing. You guys might remember the inverter that was in here before. I showed it to you when we did our cabin tour when we first moved in. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that inverter. It's just this is one we bought brand new, and this is the one that Joe kind of knows and is used to, so we wanted to get that one over here. Plus, we have the Simplify batteries. That's what we purchased to go with our solar system at the other cabin. And this cabin, when we bought it, what kind of batteries are these?
Disgusting ones.
Other than the fact that they're disgusting, what kind of batteries are they?
They're just 6-volt.
I'm translating for Joe. I'm lip reading. Ready, go. Hold on. Can you Can you tell the people, Joe?
Well, you have to maintain them and add water to them all the time. So.
Yeah, he was like, I'm going to go out. I got to water the batteries. And I was like, what? What? Water the batteries? Are they going to grow? Like, this is not my area expertise. I do homeschool and sauerkraut, okay? But yeah, these ones are high maintenance, these batteries. No, I don't blame you. So these ones, Joe was saying these ones can actually be in cold temperatures, whereas the Simplify batteries cannot. So the generator shed is heated from the generators themselves when they're running, but also from this heater that we have. We would like to eventually get more of these Simplify batteries. Right now, they're running about, what, $3,000, $3,500 per battery. So, you know, it's a little bit of an investment, but it's something that we can do a little bit at a time. Obviously, the more batteries you have, the better, because when you're using the generator for power, it's using fuel and that costs money, whereas the energy from the sun is free. So the cabin that we just moved from is set up with solar panels and batteries and the old inverter that we took out of here. We are going to be taking some of the solar panels from the other cabin. Right now there's 16 over there. There's 8 here, and we want to have 16 here and 8 there. So whoever purchases that cabin will be set up just fine with solar, but they'll have 8 panels and some Simplify batteries over there as well. The way that this solar array looks now with the 8 solar panels, that's basically what will be at the other cabin. And then Joe's gonna be bringing over 8 more panels, so 4 more will go on each side, and that'll put us back up at 16 solar panels. All right, P, you ready?
Ready.
Okay, let's roll. Hey guys, good morning. We are at the old cabin today for a little bit. We have to feed and water the sheep and pick up another load of stuff. So we are almost done emptying out this cabin, but you guys know we had 2 shelter logics, which are like temporary pop-up sheds, and then we had 2 wood-built sheds, all of which were full of things. Some were full of snow machines and equipment, and some were full of Joe's tools. One is full of hay for the livestock, and it's just like tons of stuff, tons of trips that we've had to make this last week. And then the solar company is also here at the old cabin, putting that inverter in over here and kind of getting that situated. So I wanted to take a quick second just to give you guys an update on Parker. You guys might remember a few months back I shared with you mine and Joe's results from our lab testing that we had done, but I do have Lyme disease. Mine is an active status of Lyme disease, and I also have 2 other co-infections that came from that infected tick, along with some other issues that are causing like autoimmune symptoms. So that's what led me to go to the doctor and this journey to figure out what was wrong with me. I was having some wild, crazy symptoms the last few years, and then we found out that I had been bitten by an infected tick, which caused major inflammation in my gut. I'm now gluten intolerant, and so we decided to have Joe tested and Parker as well, because we were bit multiple times when we lived in the East Coast in Virginia with the military. So Joe was tested. Joe did have Lyme as well, but his was in a more dormant state, which usually means that the immune system was able to kind of put it in check. But he also tested positive for an active infection of Rocky Mountain spotted fever. These are all tick-borne illnesses. So we have been on a protocol, a very strong medicinal herb protocol from our naturalistic doctor, Joe and I, and since we both tested positive for these, we thought we should probably get Parker tested because he was also bitten multiple times. We had a lot of ticks on the farm in Virginia. So Parker's results finally came back. He was bitten by an infected tick, which does not surprise me. Parker's Lyme disease is in like a dormant status. So it's really confusing. And I get comments in the comment section sometimes about this whole thing with Lyme disease, and I hesitate to really go into it because I've done a lot of research to get to the understanding that I have of this disease or these diseases that we have from the ticks. And so it's just very complicated, but there is a difference between an active infection and one that is kind of more in a dormant state. So the idea is that the bacteria for Lyme, they're sneaky. They're a corkscrew shape, and they go into the tissues of your body and they hide, and they are very smart, and they camouflage so that your immune system can't find them to eradicate them. And even sometimes antibiotics are not effective in treating as well, which is why some people post-treatment, even from antibiotics from a doctor for Lyme disease, are still experiencing chronic symptoms from Lyme disease, per the CDC. So this isn't coming out of Tina's mouth. I'm not a medical doctor, but this is per the CDC's information. They finally have acknowledged that there is something that they're calling post-treatment Lyme disease. I call it chronic Lyme. So anyway, Parker's is in a dormant state, which is a good thing. We are trying to strengthen our immune systems, and we are doing that almost 100% through diet and also physical fitness. And I'm drinking milk kefir, and we eat a lot of fermented foods and all the things that have the good bacterias to fight the bad bacteria. So all of us have bad bacteria, whether it's Lyme bacteria, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, but they only become a problem when your immune system is compromised and they're allowed to multiply and wreak havoc in your body. So Parker is going to be starting the medicinal herbs that Joe and I have been on for a few months. He'll be at a lower dose than us, 1, because he's a child, and 2, because he's not showing that he has an active infection right now. But it's there. He was bitten by an infected tick at some point, and his immune system has been able to suppress that and keep it in check. So we're gonna attack the Lyme anyway, just to be on the safe side. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. I know a lot of you were asking about Parker. So while it's not the best results, it could have been a lot worse, and we're gonna get him right on a protocol to get him 100%. Hi, babies. Tilly. Hi, Tilly. Naomi and Bella, good morning, girls. Hello, Ruthie. All right, girls and boys, you guys ready for some breakfast? Would y'all look at Sarah? Look at this girl. Look at this girl. You almost can't even recognize her. She's just so fluffy and full of wool, aren't ya? Yes, you are, my pretty girl. Lizzie. Hi, Lizzie. Hello. They're like, yeah, lady, just give us the grain. Look at that. You all ready for winter, Sarah? Look at that. It's so pretty. Look how thick that is. It goes like way down there. So beautiful. There's Peter and Frankie. All right, guys, we got the inverter all set up at the cabin with the Simplify batteries. So this will be the system for whoever buys this cabin, and they'll have 8 solar panels to go with it. So it's all up and running. Everything's working great. They did a great job. Nice professional look. Super happy with it. Yep, taking my strawberries with me. Oh, I'm gonna miss the view. All right, this is all we have left in the whole house. All this here in the living room. Everything else is empty. We just have to clean it really good. Pantry, everything's empty. Wow. It's crazy, huh, Joe? So crazy. So crazy. It's empty. It needs a good cleaning, though, I'll tell you that. Yes, it does. We are back home, and we just had a really sweet friend bring us dinner, and she told me she was gonna do this when we moved. She's like, let me know, I'm gonna bring you a meal. And you know, people don't do that anymore, right? Like you just don't see people doing that anymore, and it's so sweet and just thoughtful. And honestly, like when you're in the middle of moving and unpacking, it's kind of like you eat quick stuff, right? Because half your cooking ware is still packed, and like all the things, the food, finding the spices, all the stuff. So yeah, this is just a godsend. She made us moose meat meatloaf. Her husband got a moose this year with mashed potatoes, all gluten-free because she knows I'm gluten intolerant. And yeah, I'm excited to eat this tonight, and I'm just so grateful for her. It means a lot to us. So we are going to be eating that for dinner, but right now we're gonna try to get a little bit of work in on the pasture. The hope is that we can get this done and get the livestock over here within the next day and a half or so.
All right, so this is what James and Joe got done a few days ago. So it's half of the area that we're gonna fence in for the livestock. But let me show you guys something. So this has all been cleared out. We had a ton of Devil's Club in here, which is a plant that has super pokey, thorny vines on it. If you can see that. That huge pile, yeah, that all came from in here.
So I think Joe's taken down a couple trees. There's some dead trees in here, so we want to make sure to take them down. I would hate for there to be like a windstorm and they fall on their shelter or hurt the animals.
See, these all have to go because this will get completely tangled in the sheep wool. Would not be good.
Some of you have asked how much land we have with the new cabin. We are on 5 acres. So yes, we gave up some acreage for a bigger house. Essentially, that's what we did. But we had 15 acres at the other cabin. We've got 5 acres now, but a bigger house, which is so much more functional for our family. And most of the acreage at the other cabin, as you guys know, we didn't use it. It was either wooded or we had the marshy bog down where the pond was. So we were really only utilizing maybe 2.5 acres of land over there. So we were completely fine with downsizing on the acreage so that we could have a house that was a little bit better for our family. And I always try to tell people, especially when looking at buying somewhere like Alaska, the open country is your backyard here in Alaska, depending on where you live, right? Obviously you live in the city, that's going to be different, but when you live out where we're at, we can literally just go right off of our property onto state land, and it just goes as far as the eye can see. So why pay property taxes on land that we don't have to pay property taxes on?
Last row of poles.
Stars, I wanna drive a faster car. Lay my troubles to rest, blow the smoke through my cigarette. City lights looking fine, and I know this is my time now. I'm gonna be myself, or I can be someone else. No one's stopping me now. Skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try.
Well, I just came up from taking a look at the pasture Joe and Parker finished that this morning. I was gonna end this vlog here, but I thought it would be super fun to take you guys with us this morning. We're gonna go get the babies. It is time. It's time to bring the sheep and the goats home to their new homestead. And there's still work to be done on the pasture. We're gonna bring over their temporary shelters that we built that are basically just 3-sided lean-tos that'll keep them out of the elements, but we will get to that before the snow falls. But for now, we're gonna bring them over with those temporary shelters so they'll be here on the property and we can stop all of this running back and forth. Hello, oh my goodness, that has been so inconvenient, but it's time, friends. I'm excited. Let's go get the babies.
Oh, are you ready to go to your new home? Hi, Sarah. Are you ready? Let's go, Mama. Yeah, let's go to our new home, Naomi. Are you ready?
All right, we got all the feeders and the grain troughs and the milk stand loaded in the trailer. I haven't milked Bella in almost 2 weeks, but that's because we just dewormed the whole flock and herd. You got to give that time to work through their system before you start milking them again. So we haven't milked her. I'm anxious to get her back in the milk stand. She is still producing milk. Titus is keeping that going for us, thankfully, her little baby. But we got everything loaded in the trailer. Now we just have to catch them all.
What are you two doing? Wow. Really, Gunner? This is not for you guys.
What is that?
Is there something stuck?
Can you get that?
Oh, it's just stuck in his wool.
Sure.
Yep. Oh, wow. Dang, buddy. How'd you do that, Peter? Joe, he literally got it like it's through. There you go.
Alright. In there.
He's just smelling it. He's like, what is it? Making it happen up in here, Joe.
Alright, big boy.
All right, Peter. You're all right, Peter, man. You're all right.
So you guys may notice that we are not loading Samson or Esther today. So our plan was to put Samson and Esther in the freezer this fall. However, we have 3 lambs that are going in the freezer that we have to process and butcher up. And with the move all of a sudden in winter, I'm out of breath, right around the corner, we decided that was just too much. So we went ahead and sold them.
No.
He's like, oh no, am I going to the vet again?
Good job, Frankie. Oh, good girl, Bella.
I'm laughing so hard. Joe and Parker trying to get Titus. Joe just fell. Dude.
Oh, you got him. Good job,
First
Keith.
time I ever saw you, I fell in love when you entered the room. And when the light hit your face, we were just kids, but I knew right away that I will be with you until I stop breathing.
All the babies. Just gotta get Frankie in there.
I will keep loving you as long as my heart's beating. Oh, hold me close. Promise you won't let go.
Frankie,
Nothing without
you are so cute,
I
sir.
don't know what I would do
Yes, you
without
are.
you. You are the one I choose. I wanna grow old with you. Nothing without you. I don't know what I would do without
Are you going out the door?
Even though years have gone by, I'm still in love with the way that you smile. And when I look in your
Nympho.
Hi, Nympho. Can you say hi, Parker? Jeez. Some of you had asked on the video what the coffee makers, no, they're not coffee makers. These are coffee filters. Babe, you're kind of in my way. Joseph. Okay, are you serious right now?
What?
You're in my way.
Oh, not good enough. Move.
Sit down. You know what? If people only freaking knew the things I have to cut out because of your bodily sounds.
Okay.
No, Joe.
Don't blame me.
You need to go back on carnivore. Because that wasn't a problem when you were on carnivore. Well, I just came up from taking a look at the pasture. Joe and... Seriously? It flew right in my mouth.
Joe, that doesn't look very good.